Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Fernie. Fernando Marron is here, and he's been on before, and everybody loves him. So thank you for taking time out of your busy, busy day, week, month, year to
Yeah.
come back and answer questions for
Oh,
us. We
I
appreciate you.
appreciate. No, I
Uh,
appreciate that. I appreciate the invitation for sure.
uh, that's nice. That's nice. He lives in the most beautiful area of, I think, of the United States in Santa Fe, and yeah, someday when I go back, if I get a chance to, I'm going to say, let's meet up for coffee or
Oh, I
whatever.
love that. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be awesome.
It would be awesome. It would be awesome. So I'm going to just jump into the first post we have. It's kind of a long dream. So
Hmm.
I'll had an interesting dream taking the dog out for the bathroom during a storm, lighting in the distance, then a giant bolt of lightning that was in the distance flashed down, but it didn't go away. Then light orbs came down, the solid lightning piece, pinkish, and then big sound boom happened and broke all the windows. Wow. I went to the hardware store to get materials to fix the
Hmm.
windows, and when I got back, the storm started again with pink lightning. Hmm,
Interesting.
yes.
Interesting. Huh.
Mhm.
So right away, just the interpretation of this is going to be kind of unique because so I had an interesting dream last night, taking dog out for a bathroom during storm. So the taking the dog out to the bathroom represents just our everyday activities, what we do on a regular basis, our normal responsibilities, and the
Oh, yeah.
care that we provide to those we love. So it's the idea of that. And then when they go into the detail about a storm lightning in the distance, then a giant bolt of lightning was in the distance. It flashed down, but it didn't go away. Then light orbs came down. So I think that this is a message from your higher self, and I think what it's trying to tell you, Ness, is that you are able to connect with your higher self, with source, with God, whatever you choose to call it. You're able to connect to that through your everyday experiences. You don't have to necessarily do a specific practice or go through a specific technique to connect with it. You can do it in your everyday
Yeah.
experiences. Actually, it's really interesting because this is part of the chapter of the book that I'm writing, and we're like 2 chapters away from finishing it. So I think
Oh,
we should be done in
wonderful.
May. Yeah.
Oh, my
And
good.
part of it has to do with occupying the part of our brain that is used to dealing with the everyday experiences we deal with as human beings. So whether we're,
3D.
exactly. So sometimes people will have the most interesting psychic hits when they're just doing something as simple as washing the dishes or even being on the toilet. It's like a basic activity that you're doing and engaged with, but
Mhm.
it's occupying that part of your brain that is invested in something that is taking up energy. And it's kind of like what I do. Like whenever I'm dealing with a client, sometimes I have my scribble pad and I'll be
Uh-huh.
scribbling because it's a
Yep.
way for me to kind of use that energy and express that in some way while I'm processing things through my mind. So your everyday experiences, doing the things that you do with those you love, are offering you an opportunity to connect in a much deeper level. And if you will pay attention to those moments, you will find lessons there. You will find meaning there. There's understanding there. You don't have to have a massive event take place for you to be able to connect or to have that moment of
Mhm.
like, I'm connected. Finally, see the universe. No, it's in the little everyday moments that we have
Yep.
in our lives.
That's right. I particularly like the fact that the lightning comes, it's like out of the blue because
Mhm.
things happen out of the blue. And then it kind of goes away, even though it broke the windows, but it got
Yeah.
your attention. And then when you got all the stuff to fix it, it started up again. So
Hmm.
it's each and every time you think you've solved what it is to fix something, you have to be aware that that lightning will come
Hmm.
because storms are part of the living experience. So yeah, I love what you had to say. That was wonderful. Thanks,
Yeah.
Fernie. Yeah.
Yeah, and she might even be thinking that she needs to fix something with one of the situations in her life where she feels responsible for others or for doing something on a regular basis, and she wants to fix it or
Yep.
resolve it. But in the process, she might be doing away with the experience of what it's meant to teach her and what it's meant to give her, which is her connection to the divine.
Right. Absolutely. Wow. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you, Ness. I hope that really helped. In lieu of me saying hello to everyone, which I usually always do, and you guys know it, this evening, Fernie and I are just going to bat out some readings here for you because he's also got to leave right at 6, so we want to make sure that he gets out when he needs to. The only thing I do want to say is in our last show that I was on, we found out about Teresa Ford's daughter, 43 years old, gone to the gym, comes home and dies.
Mm,
So please put her in your prayers, Teresa, and her family in your prayers
mm,
tonight. She's a very important community member, and I'm so sorry that she lost her daughter. That's very tough. So,
mm.
okay, here we go. So, Wiki, I would love a message from my grandma Lola or Elvira. Yes, we were calling her Grandma. Okay.
Huh. It's so interesting. What she shows me is she shows me a memory of when I was having my front porch redone and having the slats replaced. So I'm wondering if there was special experiences that she had with her grandma, either on the front porch or if she was recently having some renovations done either to the property or to the front porch that might indicate her grandma's just saying, "Hey, I'm aware of what you're doing," or "Hey, remember when we used to spend time on the front porch?" Because she takes me right to the front porch, and it's as if I'm back at my old house. It was an old craftsman style house. It was like a witchy house.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I
Yeah.
love those houses.
I
Yeah.
do too. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So she brings me to that, and she does, interestingly enough, also she does show me butterflies, but she's showing me two butterflies at the same time, and she's interlocking them, which means there's some significance to the sign of two of them together, or two butterflies that are attached that have a significance for her as well. So those are two things that she brings up for me.
Okay. Very good. Thank you so very much. I'm going to move on. We're going to try to get to as many questions as we can. I just want you to know, first, we'll do the best we can to get you read. Patricia Frenzino has been sending emails and calling the management to fix the water damaged ceiling in her apartment. I get too many emergencies in no time. What else can I do other than call or email? Will it resolve in 2024?
I think yeah, I think it'll resolve this month. I'm thinking this should happen fairly. I think I remember answering this question before, and I was thinking that it was going to happen fairly soon. So I'm still expecting that to happen soon.
Okay.
So I would expect this to happen within the month.
Okay. Thank you so much, Fernie. By the way, Fernie's got he is simulcasting on his channel. He does have a channel here. And so please go over and like and subscribe to his channel as well. Thank you so much. Wildflower wonders if she'll ever have another partner in her life.
I would say yes. However, I think this is going to come a bit later than you would have expected. Um, I honestly want to put this in the time frame of like 9 to 14 years, like around the 9 to 14 year time frame. So I would say yes. I just think it's going to take a lot longer than you would have expected or would have anticipated. But I do think you will have another partner in your life. Person's name starts with a V.
Oh, all right. There you go. Be looking for those V's. All right. Can I get a message from my mom in spirit? Her name is Isabel.
It's interesting. She shows me the number 15. So I'm wondering if the number 15 is significant. Will it be a birthday, death date, or anniversary date connected to her or to you? Because I'm seeing that 1-5. I'm also seeing the 13th as well. So those two numbers are standing out for me. So she's making reference to that. She's putting to her neck. I wonder if there's a necklace that you have that's connected to her, or if there's an honorary necklace tied to her, because she's making reference to that as well. Thank you. Interesting. She's like flashing, almost like I'm seeing a vehicle flashing in my mind. I wonder if she's acknowledging this in reference to you with the vehicle. So if you just got a new vehicle or have gotten one since her passing, she might be referring to that. If not, if you've spent any time in the vehicle talking to her, connecting with her, that may be what she's referring to. But she's like flashed a vehicle, and I kept seeing like the shininess of this vehicle. Actually, there might even be a picture. I'm kind of thinking it's like a reddish, like a maroony reddish, not brown, but like a maroony reddish color.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm almost thinking I'm seeing this picture of her in a vehicle. So there's something there that she's making reference to.
Something there she's making reference to. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's good. Michelle, I hope that resonates with you. I get the peace card. So she's just sending you lots of love and peace from above. So thank you, dear.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We have Gwen Curry. Would love a message from her daughter Tanya, who transitioned in 2013. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Mm.
Yeah.
So interesting because when I tune in, I don't know if this is your daughter or this is another female that I want to, because I feel like this would be too young for her to be having these issues. I keep seeing the chest and the heart valve. What I'm seeing is a female, and I want to say that there was an issue with a valve in her heart or the way that the blood was pumping. Something was having some issues there, but I feel like this was triggered by something that they were doing. So it's almost like if someone's taking medication or if someone's using something, and then it triggers this weird effect on the heart, which causes this response. So I keep seeing something that reminds me of that. But I'm wondering, I wish I could bring them on and talk to them because it's a lot easier for me to get to them.
I'm sure it is.
But it's almost the idea of it's a female, this heart related event. I keep thinking of something triggering this with her. She also shows me the number 2, so I'm assuming that the number 2 is representative of a birthday, death date, or anniversary date, whether it be the month of February, because that would be the second month, or the second of a month, any month. So there's a reference there that she's acknowledging.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Gwen, I hope that helps you, dear. All right. Yeah, I assume that it would be much better to bring people on for you to do this.
Oh yeah, because this is the problem with this is the only issue when you do it comment wise, it's really hard to get the person. Yeah, and not only that, but some people immediately when they hear what they hear, they will dismiss it, or they're like, no, that's not, and then they go back and ask a family member, or they ask somebody like, oh my god, I did not know that was the anniversary. Yeah, and then they find out after the fact. And that's typically something that you kind of get to help them understand when you're talking to them. So, but that's
sure, okay. Of course. Mm-hmm. All right. Craig says he found out he has bone spurs in both heels. So you're like Donald Trump. Oh no, you don't ever want to be like him. Does this lead to surgery?
No, I don't think that you'll have to do what will happen? Nowadays they have these injections where whenever you have heel spurs or bone spurs in your foot or in your they will just inject the solution and it dissolves the calcium and really reduces it on 100%. So you don't have to necessarily have a procedure. So I'm thinking that they'll just be able to do it via injections and not necessarily have to have a procedure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would opt for that anyway, Craig, because I don't think I'd want to be cut open if it wasn't necessary. Yeah. All right. Mary would love a message from her stepmother, like Kuna, pronounced Kuma. She has passed.
And guys, y'all don't have to give me their names. Just like okay. I would like to connect to my mother. I would like to connect to my father because that gives me a chance to be able to get more information if they want to give me a name.
All right.
So, stepmother. Thank you. So she's showing me, so I'm seeing the number 11. So for me, the 11 is going to represent either the month of November or the 11th of a month, because there's a reference there. So it'd be November or the 11th of a month, any month is what I would refer to that. She also, thank you. Cardinals would be a sign from her. So she might use cardinals as a way to let you know she's around you. What's really interesting, she keeps showing me a key. So I wonder if you have an old pair of keys of hers or if you've got control of, I almost want to tie that into, actually, I kind of want to tie that into a situation when it has to do with like whenever someone's estate or property where there's, because I'm seeing this in my mind. So for me, that represents that there might be some issues with other family members, or there might have been some issues coming up that have to do with people not being on the same page or not like getting along and agreeing regarding how to handle or how to deal with her things. So there's something that she's making reference to because I kind of want to go in that direction with it. She's also making me hungry, so I feel like I want to feed everybody. So I wonder if she had a tendency of wanting to feed everybody, or she was just known for cooking and wanting to like bring everything together for everybody, because she's making reference to that as well. She's also showing me this dish. So I wonder if she has one of her dishes, because it looks like almost like a white yeah, it's like a white looking dish. So I'm wondering if she's acknowledging the dish that she has.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Mary. Yes, I know bone spurs are real, dear.
He says, bone spurs. He says, No, Ellie, my bone spills are real. I did go to the military, so I think he's like making fun of.
He actually lives in New Mexico as well. Craig
Oh,
does.
oh,
Yeah,
cool.
he does. Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
all right. Celtic Tuatha, message from her mother. Unfortunately, she already put the name up, but
yeah, that's
uh,
okay. That's yeah.
okay.
um, she's holding a baby, so I'm wanting to say that she's acknowledging actually she's showing me two. So I wonder if there's two babies that were miscarried, lost, or terminated because she's showing me two babies with her. So I'm assuming she's acknowledging two babies in spirit with her. She's also showing me birds, but specifically white feathers and doves that may be referenced there as well. She's also showing me it feels like it's a piece of fabric. So I want to say this is something like a blanket or bedding that she might still have or sometimes associate with her mom as well.
Mhm,
She
mhm.
also shows me She's also showing me the number 6 as well. So the 6th of a month is significant or the month of June is connected.
Mm, all right. Hopefully that makes sense. And the thing is, it's true. Even John Edward on TV, when he reads for people, they automatically say, "No, I don't remember," and then they go home and they remember.
Yeah,
So,
oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
let
I
it,
never
let
I
it.
never when people say no, I don't even hear them because I'm
Yeah,
so used to people coming back and saying, "Fernie, I'm so sorry.
yeah,
There was something I didn't realize it."
right,
So
right.
I'm used to
And
it.
Mary said you got her other stepmother, but you were spot on with like another one she had
Mm,
stepped through.
mhm.
So that makes me happy though that you recognized it, even if it wasn't the one she specifically asked for. So Sonia wonders what kind of work that she might be able to do for a living.
Sanja, can you see what kind of work is what I will be doing for a living?
Mm.
Um I actually think it might have something to do with property management or interesting enough maintenance work. So property management or maintenance coordination. So like whenever there's a issue in a complex or in a building or facility, but I keep thinking of like something that reminds me of a school. So I want to say it's an administrative building or administrative office that has to do with the university or school and has to do with like
Ooh,
dispatching maintenance or coordinating maintenance tickets.
all right. So there's how you can work during the day and then at night you can do all your metaphysical stuff. There you go. I've got you busy. Lalima is here wondering about any message you might have from her guides for March.
That's too general. So be more
Too general.
specific if you can get, yeah, too general because that's going to
Okay.
open me up to too many things.
Okay. That's fine. We'll go into silent victory here. Um, when will my daughter get a part-time paying job? Will you do a third party
I
read? I don't know.
That yeah, that I wanna
Okay.
say that will happen. I feel like it's gonna take a while. It's so interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if she actually has had, offers and has declined them or just did not wanna do them. I feel like she'll get a part-time job by the summertime, so I'm thinking it's gonna probably be in the first it's either the 5th of May or the 5th of June, so I wanna put it around that, like, I feel like it's on the 5th of, so I wanna say the 5th of May or the 5th of June is what I'm gonna say.
Okay. Well, that's good. All right. So Lalima wants to know about. She was the one that we said it was too general. She wants to know what message for her career.
Got it. So as far as do I think what your question is, do I see any career changes for you in the next month? I don't. I feel like your career is going to pretty much stay relatively the same. So I'm not seeing any changes of your job situation in the next month. I do think there is a major change in October. And I want to say that has to do because I feel like the company that you're working for at that time, there's a new authority figure coming in. So that would be like a new boss or a new person coming in, a supervisor. And after that, there's a bit of a shakeup. And you're gonna feel like like right after that, you're gonna be like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I'm thinking you're gonna rethink that job going into 2025 because I don't feel like you're gonna stick with that long term, that specific location long term.
Okay. Very good. Thank you very much. Oh, we already did that. Sorry. All right. So Katie Greenwood, I'm returning for insight on any signs I might be getting from my late fiance, Steve Silver, since he's become much more quiet since the year and a half after his passing.
Yeah, it's not that he's not reaching out to you. It's just that sometimes after a person passes away, there's a period of time where they are able to kind of engage with us in a way where we're easily made aware of that. But as time progresses for us, there's an ascension process that happens for them where they ascend to a higher vibration and frequency, and it just gets a bit harder for them to be able to manipulate or affect the physical environment because they don't have as much of an attachment. It's our attachment to the physical
Oh,
environment, to the physical, that allows us to be able to engage with it. So the less attached we are, the harder it is to be able to manipulate the environment. And
sure.
that's why you're having like, that's why she's having that feeling of disconnection or detachment there.
Oh,
um I would say thank you. You know, it's interesting because I want to I wonder if you have any stones or rocks that you associate with your fiance, because he's showing me these stones or rocks, and whenever I've seen that in the past, usually it's because people either collect these when they go to places, or they just collect it in honor of, like every time my cousin comes here or travels anywhere, they take a stone from wherever they're
I do
at
too.
and they
I
keep
do
it. Yeah. And so I'm
Mhm.
reminded of that, but then I keep writing on stones or wanting to like write or inscribe things on
On the
these
stones.
yeah,
Mhm.
so I wonder if there's stones or crystals that she specifically associates with her fiance, and has them placed in a specific way, because he's showing me.
Oh, he's
I'm
showing
assuming that
you?
it's, I'm yeah, I'm
Okay.
showing yeah, he's showing me. I'm also seeing a heart, so I want to say there might even be a stone heart or a crystal heart that is
Yep,
tied to him.
yep. Alright, so I hope that makes sense to you. Yes, Hilda, I got it. Alright. He always left her secret notes, she said.
Hmm.
Mm, okay.
This is more than that.
Yeah,
These are
these are
like
stones,
rocks
rocks.
or
Yeah,
stones, yeah, that he's showing me. And then there's a
uh-huh.
crystal heart, or like, you know, those rose quartz hearts. There's something like that that he's showing me.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe you'll remember later, honey. Yeah. Thank you. Alright, Karen, a message from her dad.
Hmm. Um, I love you. I'm proud of you. Um, I don't know if he didn't have the easiest time expressing his emotions, or he just wasn't able to share that before he passed away, but he really wants to let you know that. So that's something that he's wanting to make sure you understand. Um, he's also acknowledging, almost like whenever someone honors someone at the anniversary of their passing, not just remembering them, but actually like doing something in honor of them. So I wonder if y'all got together or did something again at a later date or on an anniversary of his passing, and people got together for dinner or something like that. Cause he's showing me people coming together and honoring him, but it was like the anniversary of, not necessarily on at the memorial. Cause
Wow.
he's showing me something like that. He's also, thank you. There's a male with him who I want to say passed in a vehicular incident. They might have even had trauma to the head or to the neck. Um, and I want to say that person's connected to an ST name, like a Stephen or Stephanie. It's like an ST sounding
Mm.
name that person's connected to.
All right. Very good. Put your thinking cap on, Karen. Thank you. Thank you so much. I got a real odd one here. Maybe this will help her out. She's looking for her granddaughter's wallet.
Mm. Alien, my granddaughter's wallet. I feel like it's inside of a coat or sweater. Like, you know, whenever there's like a hoodie or like a pocket of a jacket, and then they like take it off, they put it in there instead of putting it back in a purse or whatever, then they hang it, which I've done.
Mhm.
So it reminds me of that. So I'm thinking it's
Yes.
inside another piece of clothing.
Yep. Yep. And sometimes I know I do that with money, and then I'll find $20 at some point. I'm
Mm,
excited about it, but not usually a wallet. So yeah, I love
mm,
that though. That's if she's young, maybe
hmm.
that's what it is. Thank you.
Karen says
Thank
that there's a Steve Benson was a baseball player who died last week. I was
you.
going to ask him about Steve Benson, so he's just letting you know that Steve's there.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that. Oh, that's funny. I mean, not haha funny, but that's awesome. All right. A message from Mom Grace.
Hmm. You know, sometimes when we're dealing with something and we kind of just are done with it and we just want to like let it be, that's the vibe I get from her. So I wonder if mom was dealing with a condition where it either was moving forward and she just whether she was putting on a front and making it seem like she was trying to get through it, but I feel like she was ready to go. And she was ready to let it be. And that's the vibe that I get from her. I also, she's putting her hand over her mouth, which usually means either didn't get a chance to say goodbye or I could not speak. But sometimes when it's couldn't didn't have a chance to say goodbye, if you were not there for her passing, that would make sense to me, because it's usually what I see whenever that comes up. She's also showing me the 16, so the 16th of a month may be significant, or January 6th, which would be another way to interpret that number. So January 6th or the 16th of a month.
Okay. There you go, Moira. Thank you, dear. All right. Callie Healer would like a message from a loved one that has passed.
Which loved one? which loved one do you want me to tune into? Just like mom, dad, uncle, aunt?
Or she just lost her dad. I don't know if
Okay,
that's who she
so
wants.
I'll
But
focus
yeah.
on dad. Yeah, so I'll focus
All
on that
right.
because that'll get me there.
All right.
Definitely butterflies, wings, butterfly wings and wings. So I'm seeing butterflies. So butterflies are going to be a sign from him more than once. You might actually have more than one. Got it. I understand. That makes sense more with the head because she was.
Yeah.
That makes sense to
Yeah.
me now. Yeah, with dad. I'm seeing butterflies more than once, so I want to say that there's going to be more than one instance where you experience butterflies that are connected to your father. He also shows me a rainbow. So if you saw a rainbow at the timing of his passing, or if you saw a rainbow and associated that with dad, he's acknowledging that as well. He's showing me these documents and files. There might be two sets, or there might be documents in more than one place. So if there's certain files that you're looking for, or documents that y'all are trying to find, they may be in more than one location. So y'all might have to look more to get there, to get the document that you're looking for. Also, there might be a slight correction with his name on a document that has to happen, or on his if he was interred and there was a plaque, there might be a correction to a name that has to happen because he keeps correcting a name for me. So I'm assuming it's tied to one of those two
Okay.
situations.
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes, Wildflower. He is really fast. He amazes me. He amazes me. um, A. Gibson, can you give words of encouragement? That's what you're specifically looking for from your spirit team. All right. I don't know if that's specific enough for you, Fernando.
Let's see. I think you wonder if I can get any words of encouragement from my spirit team. You got to stand up for yourself. You have to stand up for yourself. I feel like sometimes when I think of you, I'm reminded of someone that I know where sometimes they get triggered by people and they take it out on the wrong people instead of refocusing it on the people that deserve and need to hear it. So I feel like you're being triggered by people, but the people that you're focusing on are not the people who you should be focusing on, because I feel like that's just getting rerouted to the wrong person. I feel like all that energy is coming up within you. You need to direct it at the people who need to hear it. And if that means that you have to be a bitch, or you have to be an asshole, or you have to like really drill in because you have to get a point across, so be it, because you don't deserve to be treated like crap or be walked over. And I feel like you really need to like stand up for yourself with the people that it matters the most with.
That's wonderful. And they're all behind you. Ask them for help. Bring in your angels, bring in your guides, and have them help you out if you need more. May I have a message from my dad? Left 2 years ago.
Yeah, he I kind of feel it's weird because there's three males. I keep seeing three males there. I definitely want to say at least two of them are smokers because I'm smelling a whole bunch of smoke. So I wonder if dad was one of the smokers, but I'm seeing three males. I've got two of them that are smokers. One is definitely acknowledging a respiratory issue. So I want to say they probably had like lung cancer or some sort of a lung issue before they passed away. One of the other ones had a heart condition. And so I want to say, or a heart event. So there's the two that I'm seeing there. I feel like the two that I'm fixating on are know each other, or they're connected somehow to each other as far as like being related. So I'm wondering if it's dad and like a brother or a brother-in-law, because I want to put two of them together. So I'm feeling that vibe there. Also, they're giving me a female's name. I don't know how this is relevant. There's like a Janice or a Jane or a Jan. Janice, Jane sounding name that they're making reference to. So I think there might also be a female that they're trying to bring up that has to do with that has a name like that.
Okay. Yes, you are right, Amanda. Fernie is a joy to listen to. I agree. That's why I really love having him on because he's
Well, not
wonderful.
when I'm sleeping because I'm a massive snorer. So like I'm like when I'm sleeping, they just want to kill me. Like, shut up, Fernie, shut up.
Oh, that's funny.
Uh,
You have to get it out somewhere, Fernie.
I guess so.
Yeah. So Terry wonders if you might have a message from her husband on the
Hmm.
other side. No.
He is acknowledging right now within 30 days. I feel like there's a birthday, death date, or anniversary date because he's putting to like right now within 30 days forwards or backwards. So he's making reference to a date of significance. He also keeps talking. He's also showing me interesting. He's showing me a ring, but it's almost like I want to remake a ring and have another version of the ring or have it redone because he's making reference to something like that. So I don't know if you've been planning on having it redone or having something remade that you associate with your husband. He also, thank you. He shows me the number 5, so the 5th of a month is significant, whether it be a birthday, death day, or anniversary day. If it's not the 5th of a month, it would be the month of May, but there's a reference there. He's showing me a teddy bear or a bear. I almost reminded of whenever people get like a Build-A-Bear, but he's showing me a bear. So whenever you have a stuffed animal or a bear that's connected to him.
Mm, wow. Well, that's
She
fascinating.
says, my diamond, I lost it. Got it. So he's just acknowledging the ring and having it remade or having it redone. So you can get that, redone.
Maybe you'll find it, Terry. Oh, it's
Remade
in your
into a
room somewhere.
necklace.
Remade
Interesting.
into a necklace. Oh, it's I oh,
Got it. Got it. Got
so
it.
yeah, he's saying it's still there, I guess. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Wow. That was awesome. Wow. All right. Andrea 54, Hector, message from a dad.
Andrea, you have to let people be there for you. He is, first of all, he says, thank you. Um, Sometimes we feel like we should have done more or we could have done more. And I feel like your dad wants to acknowledge that if you feel any guilt around feeling like you didn't do enough or were there enough, I don't think he wants you to worry about that or be concerned with that. He does love you. He also keeps showing me there might be a picture of him with a hat on, or whether it's a cowboy hat or a big hat on, because he's showing me this picture. I'm also, interestingly enough, I'm hearing a guitar playing. So I wonder if someone played a song for him with a guitar or if he knew how to play the guitar. So I feel like there's a reference there. He also take me back. What were you saying? What were you showing me? You cannot always take care of everybody. So you need to make sure you take care of yourself. You can't make everybody else your responsibility because that's going to wear you out and it's going to cause you to feel resentful towards other people and sometimes get triggered and lash out. So you need to work on that. But he is acknowledging that he doesn't want you to worry or feel the guilty as if you were not there enough for him.
Wow. Thank you. All right. Danielle asks, what would your number one meditation be for a psychic medium unable to meditate? In other words, a
Yep.
meditation that wouldn't fail. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't meditate. Think about that. Let that sink in, Danielle. So here's the thing, Danielle. And actually, what I would suggest is go and if you go to my website, fernandomarron.com, and you go down to classes and workshops, I have a dedicated workshop on our blocks, on how to reduce or get through and push through the blocks that we tend to have when we're developing, and then also how to go from newbie to pro, taking your psychic ability from like an initial intuitive stage to like a legit stage where you can do readings and do them effectively and quickly. Here's the thing. Meditation is helpful, and we this is also going to be a section in my book because we're going into this in detail. People have this idea that in order for you to be able to tune in and to connect with spirit, that you have to meditate. Well, as someone who spent 8-9 hours a day meditating in my teenage years trying to develop this ability, it did not help me become more psychic, and it did not help me to hear more clearly. It made me more sensitive, but that's all
Mhm.
it did. It made me more sensitive. I still had to use those muscles and practice the use of my ability through readings, through sensing the details and the practicing of that. And that's what's going to take for you to develop your abilities. You can meditate every day, all day long, it's not going to make you more sensitive. There's a very specific range. So we have our surface level processes, which are when we wake up in the morning, we're usually thinking about our relationships or our family or our money or our work situation or the drama that we're dealing with on a regular basis. Right below that level of thinking, there's another layer of thought processes that are occurring within our mind that most of us are not even paying attention to because we're too caught up in our own lives and in our own drama. So once we start, if we meditate, it makes us quiet enough to where we can be more sensitive to the other levels. But if you're trying to stop thinking, or if you're not even considering what's happening in your mind and the thoughts you're having as valid, you're going to completely go out of range with what you're paying attention to. Most people, that's what they do. They meditate and they go way out of range, and they're not paying any attention to the other things that are happening in their mind. Instead, they're actually negating and they're turning away the information that is flowing in from spirit and from those who are trying to communicate with us. So
What a
you
great
have to, like, yeah, you have to stay in range. And my preferred method is to do an active meditation, which is what we were talking about earlier in the live. We were talking about doing something basic to occupy your energy, your physical energy, so you have that your mind can be open to thinking about things. So for me, I like going for these walks here in the mountains in Santa Fe because that occupies my body, frees up my mind, and my mind can kind of go into that lower level, that alpha state, where that's where that spirit communication tends to be occurring a lot of times at the beginning level.
That's beautiful, and I know that will help a lot of people here. Thank you. Was a great question, Danielle. By the way, whenever this book gets finished, I need to know so I can buy a copy and then have you on to talk about it. So I'm
Love
excited
to.
about it. Yeah,
Love
there
to.
we
Yeah.
go. Oh, good. Maya Karuna says your last reading was so spot on. Would appreciate guidance on career. Offered a job, was supposed to start last year. Still waiting.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Anytime.
feel I feel that that's gonna take about 2.5, maybe 3 months before you finally get, before you get any word back from that. I think part of the issue is that there was an announcement made, later last year with the organization that kind of triggered a restructuring or a reorg, and because of that, it's thrown off some other things that were supposed to happen at that time. So you might just have to wait till they kinda get the green light and you can start, which I would say might I think that will come up in about 2.5 months.
Wonderful. I just want to show a validation. Andrea's father did play guitar and was introduced into the Texas Hall of
Awesome.
Fame. So
Awesome.
thanks for the feedback. Thank you. That always is good to know. All right. I'm so worried the company I work for is downsizing. Is my position safe? Don't be.
I yeah, I start looking. Hit up
Okay.
hit up all your contacts, hit up all of your hit up your network, just because you want to have a backup. I Here's what I would say. I As much as we're psychics and we're mediums and we can tune in and so forth, I always tell people no psychic, no medium is 100% accurate. This is all
That's right.
a process of translation and of interpretation. So
Uh-huh.
it's easy to misinterpret something. I mean, even the weathermen on TV can't get things right, and they have their fancy equipment to tell them what's going to happen. So we, as psychics and mediums, we can't hold ourselves to an unrealistic expectation or standard, because there's no occupation in the
That's right.
world that requires or that expects that, and is 100% on point. So what I would say to you is, even though I don't want you to lose your job, and I hope that you don't, I would say you need to connect with your network of people and start looking for other opportunities. I think there's going to be two waves of layoffs, though, or two waves where people will be let go. I think the first wave is happening now, within the next month, and then the second wave I think comes around May or June. So I would say, just I would rather you be prepared than
Yeah.
be caught
I've
off guard.
always done that. I've always had backups,
Yeah,
always. Used to send resumes out just because. Yeah, I
yeah.
did. And it saved my life many times. This is Valerie from Illumination Portal. I think she might want to know about her own spiritual. She has
Hmm.
a channel. This is her channel. So
Oh, okay, cool. Do you know the name of your guide, Illumination, Valerie?
yeah, put it up there if you can, hon.
Yeah, if you don't know the name of your guide, because you have three, you have a primary and two secondary. Um,
Okay. Well, if I see it, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I want to say one of them. It might be the primary. Sparkly.
Sparkly.
I think that's the name you gave them. I think it's the name. And so there's a female primary. There's a primary guide. She reminds me of a Polynesian a woman. I want to say her name is Elani. Elani. And so that's your primary guide. She's and it's interesting because she's very very done up. So she's really wanting to make sure I understand that. You need to learn to have more fun in your life because you take yourself way too seriously and you put too much pressure on yourself. So you need to have more fun in your life and let yourself actually, you need to kind of go on a trip. That's what I'll say. You need to get out of your environment and just experience something somewhere else, even if just for a week, because you're getting too sucked into the stuff in your life. I also would recommend you clear, like, smudge your space or clear out the energy of your space, because not just like a one-time event, like you should do this weekly, because it's a constant rotation of energy that is cycling through, and you're not diverting it or engaging with it in a way where it's entirely healthy, and it might overwhelm you. So
Mhm. Wow. That's great, Val. I'm sure you'd be happy to
she
do
said
that.
Alani. Oh my God, that name came to me a couple of times. Yeah, that's your main guide. That's your
Oh,
primary spirit
yeah.
guide. So you could call her
She does.
Sparkly. You can call her whatever she wants.
Yeah, she does smudged, and I know she does, but she's an astrologer too, so she's got a lot going on up here. And I'm
So
sure that, yeah,
here's what
yeah.
I would recommend when you smudge it for you specifically, because you need to get into your fun energy. Yeah, I know you need a
Mhm.
vacation. Use music as a tool. So you know how people, when they work out, they'll use like one of their favorite songs because it gets them going. Use
Yeah,
the music that you really connect with or you feel empowered by. When you smudge, it will have way more power, because just the simple practice of smudging may not be enough. You need to engage the part of you that is connected to the energy of transformation. The smudging itself is a trigger for your own power. So if you're
yeah,
thinking that the smudging itself has the power, you're disempowering yourself. So what you do is you use the smudging as a trigger to initiate your own power of transformation, to reignite yourself, reawaken yourself. Use music as well, and then that will help to divert and rechannel the energy in a
that's
much more
good.
constructive way.
Yeah, she does. She hasn't had any fun for a while, so
Yeah, that's
everybody's, yeah, that's no fun.
no fun.
Thank you so much, dear. I hope that helps you. Rhonda
Thank you.
Dillenberg
Yeah.
has from her dad.
I wonder if he's in the military, because I keep seeing a male that's military connected.
Oh,
So I wonder if if he's not
okay.
in the military. What I'm seeing is I keep getting a male who's in the military. He also keeps showing me coins. So I wonder if there was a coin collection or if there was medals that are connected to dad that he's making reference to. Um, I'm also seeing, it's gonna sound weird. I'm also seeing Howard the Duck. So either the name Howard is significant, whether it be a connection to a person named Howard that he's referencing with him, or he's talking about the duck. And there's a special duck or ballard duck that is significant.
Oh, okay. Well, something to think about. There is a group called Ducks Unlimited. Unlimited. There's like a club called that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So hypnicity for her dad.
um,
You're amazing, Fernie. Oh my goodness.
you know, it's so interesting because I keep seeing two father figures. So I wonder if you have a father-in-law or a stepfather that's passed also. Um, there's another father figure. Um,
Could it be your grandfather? Because he
no,
talks about him a lot.
This
Yeah.
it's almost like whenever there's a father and then there's like a father-in-law or a stepfather, or there was like an adopted father and then there was a primary father, because I keep
Okay.
seeing an additional father figure, because I see two father figures for her in spirit. So
Okay.
one I'm assuming is her father, Fred, and then there's another father figure that is being
It might be her brother. He's 14 years older than her, and that's how mine was 13, and I felt like he was a second father.
Well, I keep seeing an M, so I'm wanting to also the male that's the father. I want to say maybe he's an M name because I keep seeing the letter M, so I want to attach an M to it. I also feel so. I want to go into my chest and my heart area, but I also am looking at like the stents on the side of the heart. If your father had any heart condition and there was some procedure or stents, that would make sense to me. If not, it's the father figure the other father figure that I'm trying to figure out because I keep like highlighting and fixating on this other father figure for some reason.
Okay. You'll have to think about it, Nilani. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Macaulay. Oh, there she goes. Macaulay. Yes, my brother's granddad. Okay, so
Okay.
interesting.
Okay. Well, that's the M word.
Yeah.
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 I'm wondering,
Yep.
did he have any heart stents or a heart condition?
Mm.
That's okay. She'll come back around when
Yeah.
she able to.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes there's a delay. I know you know that. Oh, by the way, also
Mhm.
Fernie goes live a lot on Instagram. So Sharon did
Mm,
put up his Instagram account. I've seen him on there
interesting. She
going live.
says he was a heart doctor.
Oh, he was a
That's
heart
funny.
doctor.
That's funny. No wonder
Okay.
I keep seeing procedures. Okay, I'm like, why is he in a heart procedure? Interesting. Okay,
Okay.
that may be the father figure
That
then.
makes
Then that would
sense.
make sense. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
make
it does.
sense.
Yeah. All right. So Jen Bowles, Mom Diane, or Mom. Yeah.
um,
Mhm.
to the moon and back. To the moon and back. To the moon and back. So she keeps saying to the moon and
Okay.
back. She also um I want to say she's showing me a heart, but I want to see it almost like if I've seen it in fabric. So I wonder if there's a heart shirt picture of her where she's wearing this picture of her mom's wearing this outfit with hearts all over it, or if there's actually an image of her mom in with a heart next to it
Hmm.
because she's showing me that image of her.
Oh.
But it's like a physical heart, like an actual like Valentine's
Oh, a
heart.
real aorta or something. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Wow. Well, there you go. Fernie, do you do private readings?
I
You
do.
do.
This is actually my
Okay.
full-time job. So
Yeah.
just go to my website, fernandomarron.com, and you can take a look at my schedule and yeah, you can look at the schedule and see
See what
what's
fits.
available.
Okay. We got just a few more to do and we'll be done. He's got another hour to talk. So, Sally Mott, a message from her brother.
Sally, it's interesting because I keep hearing, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I wonder if there was a little bit of a detachment with your brother before he passed, or if y'all had kind of lost touch or weren't able to communicate with each other effectively. Because I feel like this like feeling of detachment, but I'm hearing I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I also I also wonder if his liver was affected, or if there was any cirrhosis, because I keep thinking of whenever I'm talking to a drinker. I wonder if this is her brother or somebody else, because what I'm getting is the idea of a drinker. They're apologizing. There's this like disconnect or like this like separation vibe. Then there's also this acknowledgement of like the issues that were affecting them, like cirrhosis of the liver, some fluid building up in the stomach. So I'm getting that whole vibe there. So
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. All right. So, Sally, if you're still here and you can give him some feedback, that would be helpful. Thank you. Nam, message from Dad or Uncle Fred.
mhm. You are my sunshine. You are my sunshine. I'm hearing the "You Are My Sunshine" song. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. Um, if you had a chance, thank you. Sometimes when we are trying to let somebody know that they can leave, or whenever they're ready to go, they can leave, even if we're not in the room when they pass away. And he's kind of triggering that idea in my mind, the idea of like giving them permission to leave, but not necessarily being present. So I'm wondering if Nam was not there, or if she just gave them permission to leave, because this is a feeling of like, thank you for letting me go with grace and dignity, and that's the way that I feel about it. Um, there's also this idea of disputes in the family, or people who are no longer connecting or communicating with each other on different sides of the family, and that they're aware of that or acknowledging the disconnect there. But there's one person specifically, or one, I want to say it's a female, that's a pot stirrer, who's been like the trigger point in the family, and they're making me aware of that, as well. They're also pointing to, thank you, dad is pointing to a necklace, so there may also be a necklace that holds significance for dad.
Okay. Thank you, Nam. Jen Bowles is giving some feedback. Mom wore a shirt that had a patchwork heart in the center of it.
Oh,
Yep.
perfect.
So that
Yep.
that was the shirt you saw.
Picture. Yeah.
Huh? All right. Let's see what we got here. Just visiting. Wonders if her book will be successful. Her children's book.
So I feel like you're going to try to I feel like you're going to try to go the traditional route of getting it published through a publisher. I feel like that's going to be a bit harder than you thought. So you might end up going with a different type of publishing option. Either it would be self-publishing, or it would be publishing through a smaller company, but you might still have to put money towards it. I don't feel that that would be a bad idea. However, I think it could do a lot better if you start to build an audience around the material before you actually release the material,
There's
because
an idea. Yeah.
yeah, so you want to start like sharing stories that would be included in the book, or sharing tidbits, even just sharing the journey of putting the book together, and bringing it, because you want to invite people into the experience and give them something to look forward to. And in doing so, you'll have an audience that you can market to and sell to, that would have a better opportunity to come back to a publishing company, say, look, here are my numbers, here's the audience, this is what we're doing. And then I feel like they would be more likely to take you on. So I could see it doing well, but you're going to have to do a lot more work with it than just going through a standard publishing company.
You know what? Thinking out of the box. That's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. She loves the idea. Yes. Thanks to everybody coming in. We really have appreciated it. I'm sorry that I wasn't stopping to welcome everybody, but I think we're doing speed dating here tonight. So, and Fernando is amazing. You're amazing. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. See, it's
Um,
open.
a message from a loved one or someone in the light. I've been dreaming with deceased, and the other day I felt someone wanted to say something.
Okay, so I actually think that there's someone connected to your family who's I want to say they're an older person. I'm thinking they're a female who are getting ready to cross over. So I feel like what you're experiencing is kind of like them, popping in just to let you know that they're coming to receive or to retrieve that individual and bring them over. So I feel like what you're having is a combination of picking up on that person's energy as they are starting to transition over, and then also people coming down, or people coming in and you just picking up on them, trying to just, hey, heads up, we're coming.
Yeah. Yeah. That might make most sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got one more, and thank you everybody for your questions and for being here. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, he is amazing. I love having him on the show. Oil Painter wonders if there's a message from her mom.
Um, I keep seeing watercolors and paintings. I wonder if either your mother did any art or watercolors before, or if you've done some in her honor, because I keep seeing because I keep seeing watercolors or paintings. She also keeps acknowledging. It's interesting because I keep seeing France and a fleur de lis, which I'm not sure what that's tied to, but there might be an association with that. I also feel the sense of like when you're doing family history or trying to look back into your family ancestry and roots and trying to see how you're connected. It wouldn't surprise me if somehow there's a tie to a French heritage or a family connected to France, through your mom's line. So you might find that. She also, thank you. Coffee grounds are good for the flowers. So I don't know if your mom was a planter or flower as well, but she's talking about coffee grounds. So I think she's trying to give you some tips.
There you go. Oh, that was wonderful. And this is from everybody. Hold on. Thank you. You are
Oh,
phenomenal. And it is. You got everybody done, and everybody got a tidbit of wonderful news. And thank you. Thanks, Fernando.
oh,
Thanks,
no problem.
everybody.
I'm happy to
Yeah,
do it.
I know. It's wonderful. I'm going to let you go because I know you got another show coming up, and you
Yep.
need to get a glass of water or something.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you,
Okay.
though.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming and being with us tonight. We'll see you again. Bye bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
darlings.
Bye bye.